Ha ha ha. First one. Ha 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 ha. Chuck E. Cheese. So it all started with a guy that was like, yo, video games are cool. So let's do food and video games, video food. But everyone was like, nah, that's not a great name. So they were like, yo, Chuck E. Cheese's Pizza Time Theater. Yeah, that's a great name. So they went for it, and there's more than 500 Chuck E. Cheese's. So that's great. But then, poof, pandemic. What do? We file for bankruptcy. Second one. L Brands. So L Brands is basically Victoria's Secret and Bath and Body Works. But that was until earlier this year. So L Brands was like, yo, we need to sell Victoria's Secret, because we have a little debt of $5.4 billion to pay. But then, poof, there's a pandemic. What do? Well, we close everything. But then, Sycamore, or I don't know what's the name of the brand, but they were like, yo, we were supposed to buy you, but you closed everything without telling us. So, bye-bye. Third one, Nordstrom. So basically, the CEO was walking down the street, and then, poof, pandemic. Dun, 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 dun. Then they were like, yo, we need to close everything. And then the sales were like, whoa, we're down 40%. And then Nordstrom was like, yo, we need to close like 14% of our stores ASAP. But to this day, the CEO is like, yo, we're in a strong position, everything is under control. What's up? Fourth one. GNC. So basically, they were like, yo, 2018 is going so great, ha ha ha. And then, first quarter of 2019, $15 million loss. So the CEO was like, yo, everything's going to be great. And then, 2020, first quarter of 2020 was like, yo, $200 million loss, which isn't good. But luckily, they were like, yo, can we have just a break, please? So the money lenders were like, yeah, we're giving you 30 days. But after that, we're going to break your legs. But after 30 days, you know what happened? Bankruptcy. And when the New York Stock Exchange learned that, they were like, yeah, no, we don't want you anymore. Bye-bye. But then they found a buyer for $770 million. And the fifth one. If you've made it to this point, I guess you liked it a bit, at least. So I'm asking you for just one single little mini thing. Can you like and subscribe the video and subscribe the channel? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Oh my god, thank you very much. And if you want to support the channel even more, we have selected a book that you can buy with our link that will give us a little money to support the channel. And it's a really good book. So it's Think and Grow Rich. It's basically the Bible, but like for investors and entrepreneurs. I wouldn't be selling this book to you if I didn't think that it could help. And by the way, it would make a really good gift for the holidays. Just saying. The link for it is in the description. And for the real fifth one on the list, psych. I'm just here to remind you that if you subscribed, you should also hit the bell icon so that you don't miss an upload. Bye. And for the real fifth one on the list, it's Aldo, the shoe company. So basically, there was this new guy who was like, yeah, I'm the boss's son, so I am now the chief executive of Aldo. So I'm cooler than you. That's what he said. But then, poof, pandemic. So he was like, oh frick. But the company was like, yo, we need to do legal things. That basically means that we're not doing very well. So that's what they did. And for the sixth one, AMC Entertainment. So basically, the last years, they were like, yo, we're not doing so great with Netflix and all. And then, poof, pandemic. But then Amazon was like, yo, we're gonna buy you. So AMC was like, oh yeah, that's so cool because we have $4.8 billion in debt. But then, yep, total silence. But then they were like, yo, it's the seventh one on the list. And it's Ascena Retail Group. Asana? I don't care. Really, I don't care. It's basically the company that owns G Crew and JC Penney. So, pretty big. But basically, before the pandemic, they were like, yo, we're gonna buy Ann Taylor for $2.16 billion. And then in 2019, there was the CEO. He was like, yo, I'm tired of being the CEO. So he quit. And then some days later, poof, pandemic. And then some days later, poof, bankruptcy. Lol. And now Century 21. So basically they were like, yo, let's go to Florida. And after that they were like, yo, let's go to New Jersey. And then they were like, yo, it's pandemic. But they were like, yo, at least we've got insurance, you know? And the insurance was like, no. So they were like, and it was bankruptcy. Ninth one. Starbucks. So basically they were like, yo, we have a plan. So let's just open the drive-thru for like 2 weeks and pay everyone like 30 days, whether they work or they stay home. So yeah, that's the plan. But then they were like, yo, the plan was shite. And basically there was this guy that came and he was like, yo, you'll owe $1.25 billion in the next year just in rent. So they were like, oh. And the last one on the list, it's Pier 1 Imports. So basically it started in 1962 and they were like hippies in California. And they were like, yo, you want some bean bags and some love beads? Yeah, we can sell that to you. But in recent years, they were like, yo, we have 1,200 stores. So we're kind of big. But then, poof, Amazon was like, yeah, what's up, bitches? And Pier 1 Imports went from $2 billion in 2016 to losing $310 million in 2019. So Pier 1 Imports was like, yeah, not doing so great. And Amazon was like, yeah, so doing so great. And then bankruptcy. And then the end of the video, not Pier 1 Imports. Well, yeah, Pier 1 Imports too, but the video mostly.